Hi, I'm Sorana, the girl with the light up hair, and I'm hanging out with Rob from Front Row Live.
What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment. I'm hanging out here with Sorana, and I'm super excited that you are releasing your own material now. Like, yeah, your music so far has been incredible. But before we really dive into like your music, like I'm curious what it was like being able to write for other artists, and especially like hit singles, and then how that helped you kind of learn your own path and your own like helped you create your own lane in music.
It's actually funny because I never wanted to write for other artists. I've always been writing for my own stuff with the aim of being an artist. Um, so that kind of triggered my songwriting. I started my career as an artist. I always wanted to be an artist, but people thought of me as a songwriter first. So I actually started doing sessions in London where I lived before I lived in LA. And I wrote like so many songs, like hundreds of songs, and I couldn't keep all for myself. So basically, I keep the ones that I love the most, that I relate to the most for me, and then everything else I pitch to other artists. And some of them fell in love with my songs and then decided to put them out. And it's a great feeling, especially um, when Galantis, Lil Mix, and David Guetta released Heartbreak Anthem. I actually never thought about staying on their record, and now I'm pissed because it was so big. And I was like, I wish I stayed on it now. But I'm so happy that those huge artists like related to my lyrics and my song, and I don't know, put it out and made it like a great record.
Now the fact that other people, because you come into the writing session, you write it because of something that you're feeling or an emotion or whatnot, and then someone else like them performs it. Do you feel like that changed like your impact on moving forward when you're creating more music? Now you're thinking about that massive arena type of show, or you're thinking more of a dance kind of vibe. Like, did that impact you at all in your writing process?
Actually, when I write a song, I only think about the song first of all. So I always write on piano or on guitar, on this like very very basic beat that usually doesn't even have drums, like just a vibe. So I just think about the song. I always want the song to be a pop record. I always love big choruses. Always love a great concept, and I always love writing about something that um, I relate to.
Okay.
So I don't really think of the genre of things. I just kind of make the song and then start producing it, and then I see what it can become.
Yeah.
But I love pop records, honestly, not necessarily. I mean, I love all genres, but like for me especially, I love like big pop records.
And I feel like that's what you're doing with this new single, "Happy Birthday Sadness," and which is like super catchy, especially the chorus. Take me into the studio and like what that creative process was like. Like, did you come into it with that melody, or did you come into it with lyrics? Like, what was that like?
So basically, this is like a different kind of a process because I started the song alone on guitar. I had this concept, Happy Birthday Sadness, because I thought I'm always sad on my birthday. And why am I sad on my birthday? I always like miss someone because I moved country so many times. Wherever I am on my birthday, I miss either my family or my boyfriend or my friends or someone. So I always kind of have this sad feeling around my birthday. So I decided to write a song about it. I presented it to some people in sessions and they were like, oh, I don't really like that idea. So I thought, let me just write the chorus by myself. I started, I wrote the whole chorus and the melodies, and then I called one of my friends, Jay Hart, who's like an amazing songwriter.
Also, yeah.
And I asked him for lyric help, and we did the rest of the song together. So I had the song on piano recorded, and then I started producing it with my friends Nikki Adamson and Johnny Goldstein. But yeah, it was like a different kind of a process. It wasn't like just going into a session and writing the song. It just was like a lot of parts to this process, which is something I already showed on TikTok how we wrote the song. I wanted to like present my co-writers and like um, show how we wrote the song.
Yeah. Did you like that new process, like starting it out on your own and then bringing people in afterwards?
Yeah, I love doing that a lot of times because I feel like when I'm alone with my thoughts, I write different than when I'm in a session with people. Because obviously, when you're in a session, thoughts are combined. So if I want to write something that's super personal and like take my time with it, maybe I want to spend like 5 hours on a just on a course, make sure all the melodies and the rhythms and the words are placed in the right place, like how I like it. And then when I feel like, okay, I'm done with this myself, then I decide if I want to bring anyone in to help or not.
As far as the melody goes, is that something that you also came up with on your own while you were doing this yourself, or did the additional help kind of help you kind of figure out that kind of BPM or that kind of melody for the track?
I actually had all the melody. I've done like the chorus myself and like all the rest of the melodies. And the chorus was actually, because the chorus is now, I can't stand this happy birthday sadness. But originally, when I
Don't
wrote
know
it,
why.
why I'm feeling like it. Yeah, it was, but originally it was, happy birthday sadness, I can't stand this.
No, you
And
jump
it's
into it
so
too quick.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought, should I flip them? And I flipped them, and I was like, wow, that's so weird. And then I started like doing voice memos, like me playing on this like guitar that only had like 5 strings because one just broke. So I was like trying to play something, and then I listening back to the voice memos, I thought, yeah, it should be I can't stand this happy birthday sadness. It's like such a cool start for a chorus. And then also like my favorite part of the record is actually the verse melody, where I go na 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 na, all of my mascara running down my cheeks. Cause I was thinking I want to do this crazy, like what's the craziest melody that I can do? So I decided to do this chromatic scale on it because I thought it's cool and different.
That's also a favorite of mine, just because it's not only a chromatic scale, but also you're picturing with the notes, you're picturing the mascara running down your face. It was like perfect.
Yeah, it's super dramatic. This is what I wanted to do for this record. I was imagining this birthday party where I'm surrounded with all my friends and like it's like good vibes and everyone laughs and the more people laugh the sadder I feel inside because it's actually something I've always felt on my birthday, which is like so weird, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. So I wanted to make the lyrics like super dramatic, like actually crying. You know, like girls love to cry on their birthday at midnight. I don't know why, but it's just kind of
Thing, I guess.
yeah, it's a thing. Yeah.
So going into that, the creative process of the film or of the music video, like, did you have this entire concept in mind already, or did the director come in and have this concept with you?
So basically, when I wrote the song, I also imagined the birthday party. I was like, you know, you usually want to do a different concept for the video than what the record is about. But in this case, I wanted to do a birthday party or like a party kind of scene, but like very dark. Like it's all kind of grungy and like a bit rock and a bit like, I don't know, like.
It's very underground. That's what the vibe that I get.
Yeah, very underground, yeah. So I wanted to do kind of a different vibe to a party, like a darker vibe.
And obviously we can't help but notice the hair that lights up during the entire thing, and you have it on right now. What is the story behind your hair, and especially the lighting? Like, I feel like this is like some engineering that you kind of created while you were busy working on your music.
So actually, me having light hair was my boyfriend's idea. He called me one time. He was snowboarding, and we were like talking on the phone, and he's like, I think you should have light hair. And I was like, oh my God, that's the best idea I've ever heard. So I was like, how do I make this? And I like spent maybe like 6 months, 8 months trying to find someone who can actually do the electronics of it. Finally found someone, and I designed these braids, and he made them for me. And they're very heavy, and it's really hard to wear, but it's very worth it. And I also have another wig, which you can see in the Happy Birthday Sadness video, that is made out of optic fiber and it lights up and it's like super magic. I actually made that myself with this guy, Tom, who did like all the Lady Gaga original props. Yeah.
You have to go to the best or don't do it at all, right?
Yeah. And we actually made it together, and it took 6 months to make. It was like sewed, it's manually sewed. I actually sewed it. I made all the decisions on how much hair to put in. Like, I don't know how I made that. I think I really wanted that wig, and if somebody else would have made it, I think it would have cost like crazy, crazy. So
And you maybe wouldn't have liked it. Like it wouldn't have been as important or special to you.
yeah, exactly. I love to be hands on, and it was like so fun to do that. I did that last year. It was so fun to do something else than music. I love doing like crafty things, so I guess that was like a great thing to combine music with.
Yeah.
Something I can build and control, you know, because music is like so free. You never know what's gonna turn out. But like when you build something, you kind of know. So that's a good balance.
That's true. And it's kind of cool because you're a songwriter, you're a musician, you're an artist, you're a creative director at the same time, you're an engineer at the same time. Like, how do you not burn out with like having doing so many things, but not just doing them, but you're also good at them. So how do you not burn out? How do you keep it fresh every time?
Well, I burn out all the time, and then I cry it out, and then I start again.
Some great advice.
Yeah, just cry it out, guys, and then start again.
Yeah.
I kind of I've always been super creative. Like I've always loved building things. Like I've been doing hair since I was like super young. I made my first like braids, like super long braids out of this neon orange yarn that I like begged my mom to buy me because I had an idea of making a wig. And I actually thought about how I would make it, but I didn't have the tools. I was like 7 or something. So I ended up doing these two long orange braids. They were down to my knees, and I put them on a string and tied them around my head. And I was um, like I don't know, pretending I'm at a show or something. So I've always done these things. I feel like um, building stuff and creating stuff kind of gives me energy.
And then here you are now promoting music with like something similar as those original braids.
Exactly. I feel like my OG inspiration was Sailor Moon. You know that anime?
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, like the girl with superpowers and like these long tails. It like looks exactly like that, but it just like lights up. Because I was thinking, where does my inspiration for my look come from? And I was like, oh my god, it's Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Now, lastly, you kicked off this year with an incredible collaboration with David Guetta, Red Rum, and like, talk to me about that creative process. Like, were you in the studio with the entire team that was writing this track, and like, how did that inspire you to be an even better songwriter than you already are?
So actually, David got involved in the song after it was written. I wrote it in Sweden with my friends Julia Anton and Rollo, amazing writers and producers. Um, I wanted to write a song, Red Drum, for a few years. When I saw The Shining, I was like, Red Drum, where they're, oh my God, that's such a good song title. So we wrote it that day. And when David heard it, he was like, oh my God, I have to be on this record. But David and I worked together before. When we met, he said, like, we're going to have a song together. You're the next Sia.
That's such a great compliment.
I know. I loved it. Gave me a lot of confidence, I guess. But I knew we're going to have a song together, and then it happened. It was like quite hard to pull off because David releases so many songs, and I feel just lucky that he featured on my record, and that he loved my writing, and he just loved the song, and he was like, he made me re-record vocals, but because he was in love with the original demo, but then my accent was a bit too Romanian at the time. I had diction lessons in the meantime, and then I started re-recording the song, and then it lost emotion a bit, and then I ended up recording it 13 times. That was like, I've never recorded any song as much, but that was the first one that I was trying to, like, re-record with like a better accent. And yeah, he was like, David was, I like the original demo. And I was like, but I worked so much on the accent. And I was like, let me just try again. So I tried again, and then he was like, I love this. I love this.
That's so funny. Well, congratulations with that track. Congratulations with the new single, Happy Birthday Sadness. You guys be sure to check out Sorana now, and also check out the new single. It's out now. The video is incredible. Congratulations with that. And thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.
Thank you.